Okay, so now we have already covered what exponential form is and what expanded form is. So right now what we have is we have a problem and it tells us to evaluate. So what that means is that we are going to be solving. And for our first example here, this is inside parentheses and our negative sign is outside parentheses. So this is telling me that my base is 1/4. My exponent is 2. And what I need to do from here, I'm going to go ahead and put my equal sign and my negative sign here. Because this is outside of these parentheses, that means that this has to be carried over into our final answer. Nothing is happening to this negative sign at the moment, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to expand it. So we're going to have 1/4 times 1/4. I'm doing 1/4 times 1/4 because our exponent is 2, so there has to be 2 of them. And when we're multiplying fractions, we multiply straight across. So I have my negative sign that I kept. And I'm going to put these in parentheses. So I have 1 times 1 is 1. And I got 4 times 4 is 16. So my answer, my final answer that I just solved for is going to be negative 1/16. If this negative sign, say it had been on the inside, let's say, we'll keep 1/4. When we multiply a negative times a negative, okay, it's going to turn, it's going to turn positive. So if this had been inside, we would have gotten a completely different answer because we would have had a negative 1/4 times a negative 1/4. Negative times a negative would be positive, so that would cancel out, and we'd be left with 1/16. So these are two completely different situations. Now, over here, we have 2 to the third. So this one's a little bit easier, a little more straightforward. So we're going to have 2 times itself. So this exponent tells us how many times it's being multiplied. So 1, 2, 3. And we're just going to multiply these numbers. So 2 times 2 is 4. And we still have this 2 left over. So 4 times 2 is 8. And that's your final answer. So that one was a little more straightforward. So when you see evaluate in an example, on a quiz, a test, on homework, that's saying that you need to solve. Okay. All right. So go ahead and do some of the practice problems, or actually do all of the practice problems, and then we will move on.